In a world filled with division and conflict, there was a man who walked a path of mercy and love, whose every action was a reflection of boundless generosity. A man who, despite facing persecution, adversity, and hardship, lived a life defined not by power, but by compassion. This was the legacy of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, a legacy that still echoes through the hearts of millions today. He was not just a leader, he was a teacher, a healer, a source of mercy and compassion for all of Allah's creation. Prophet Muhammad was the embodiment of the divine qualities of mercy, Raḥmān, the compassionate, and Raḥīm, the merciful. But more than that, his life was a living example of how we should treat one another, no matter their station in life, their wealth, or their beliefs. And what was his message? His mission? It was simple: mercy to all. The Quran tells us in verse 21, 107, "And we have not sent you, O Muhammad, except as a mercy to the worlds." These words are not just a reminder, they are a call to action. The generosity of the Prophet. The life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is a shining example of kindness, generosity, and compassion. His generosity was not bound by the size or magnitude of a request. There are countless instances in his life that highlight his willingness to give, even when he had little or nothing to offer. No request was too small or too large for him to fulfill, and his selfless nature is remembered by Muslims across the world. One of the most remarkable examples of the Prophet's generosity is when a man approached him asking for assistance. On this particular occasion, the Prophet did not have anything to give, but he promised the man, "I will help you. If I have nothing now, I will provide for you later." The man left with a sense of hope and trust in the Prophet's word. True to his promise, the Prophet later provided the man with what he needed, demonstrating that his generosity extended beyond mere material possessions. The Prophet's commitment to fulfilling his promises was integral to his character, and this simple act reflected his immense compassion. On another occasion, a man came to the Prophet in desperate need. After listening to the man's plight, the Prophet, peace be upon him, was moved and without hesitation gave him his entire herd of goats. The man, stunned and overwhelmed by the immense generosity of the Prophet, left with a heart full of gratitude and a new sense of hope. When he returned to his people, he shared the story of his experience with Muhammad, saying, "Muhammad has given me so much, and there is no fear of poverty when in his presence." This simple yet profound act of kindness led to many people in the man's community embracing Islam, recognizing the true essence of compassion that Islam promotes. The Prophet's generosity was not confined to humans alone. His compassion extended to all living creatures, no matter how big or small. One day as he was walking, a camel approached him. The animal's eyes were full of sadness and distress, and the Prophet immediately noticed. He asked, "Who is the owner of this camel?" When the owner stepped forward, the Prophet, peace be upon him, addressed him, saying, "Be kind to this creature. It is suffering under the weight of your cruelty." The Prophet's words were a reminder to all that kindness and compassion should extend to animals, as they too are creations of Allah deserving of care and respect. His deep concern for the well-being of all living beings reflects his holistic approach to kindness, which saw no distinction between people and animals, rich and poor. The generosity of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was not merely in the material sense. His greatest wealth was in his heart. He gave not only from his possessions, but from his love, understanding, and sense of justice. His generosity, born of his love for Allah and his desire to bring people closer to him, became a beacon of light for his followers and for the generations to come. Whether he was helping the poor, comforting the grieving, or guiding those who were lost, his generosity was an integral part of his mission, and it continues to inspire countless people today. The life of Prophet Muhammad teaches us that true generosity is not just about giving what we have, but also about making promises that reflect our sincerity and willingness to help others, even when we do not have immediate means to do so. It is about recognizing the needs of others, human and animal alike, and doing what we can to alleviate their suffering. In a world that sometimes values material wealth and self-interest above all, The Prophet's example of selfless giving and compassion reminds us that true wealth lies in the kindness we offer to others. A lesson in selflessness. But the Prophet's generosity wasn't just about giving. It was about living with no attachment to material wealth, no fear of loss. Once, as he walked with his companion Abu Dhar, the Prophet said, "If the mountain of Uhud were turned into gold for me, I would not want 3 nights to pass with even 1 dinar left, except for what I need to pay off my debts." For Muhammad, peace be upon him, wealth was not a possession. It was a means to help others. He would never rest until any money he received was distributed to those in need. One evening after the prayer, the Prophet rushed back home. Why? Because he had remembered that some gold had been left in his house. He was determined that it should not remain there overnight. The gold was to be given in charity, for he could not bear the thought of leaving it without helping those in need. A life of forgiveness. And when he returned to Mecca, after years of hardship, oppression, and persecution at the hands of its people, the Prophet was given the power to seek revenge. But he chose something greater. He chose mercy. His words were simple yet profound. "Go, for you are free." His victory was not one of power, but of mercy and forgiveness. It was a moment that would echo through the centuries, a testament to the Prophet's boundless compassion. The Prophet's mercy to orphans and the vulnerable. The Prophet, peace be upon him, had a special place in his heart for the vulnerable, especially orphans. Having lost his own parents at a young age, he understood their pain, and so he made it his mission to protect and care for them. He would often remind his companions, "Whoever raises an orphan, I and he will be like this in paradise," showing us how deeply he cared for those in need. His kindness extended to women, the elderly, and the poor. To him, no one was beneath his care, and no one was too insignificant to be treated with love and respect. The Prophet's message of mercy to the world. The mercy of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, was not confined to his time, his people, or his community. His mission, as the Quran declares, was to be a mercy to the worlds. It was a mercy that transcended borders, faiths, and boundaries of race or culture. In his final sermon, he said, "All mankind is equal. No Arab is superior to a non-Arab, and no non-Arab is superior to an Arab. All are equal in the eyes of Allah." His message was clear: to live with mercy, to treat all with kindness, and to build a world rooted in justice, peace, and love. The legacy of mercy. Prophet Muhammad was a mercy in a world that desperately needed it. His life was a testament to the power of love, forgiveness, and generosity. And now, as we face our own trials and challenges in the modern world, we must ask ourselves, how can we live up to his example? How can we show mercy to those around us, just as he showed mercy to the world? The legacy of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, is not just in the stories we tell, but in the actions we take every day. Let his mercy be the guiding light that leads us toward a better, kinder world. Be merciful as he is merciful. For more inspiring content exploring the rich history and profound teachings of Islam, subscribe to the Muslim Vibe on YouTube. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Keep deepening your knowledge and strengthening your faith as we learn from the past to navigate the present and build a better future, inshallah.